Day one in Bratislava. Well, we got here yesterday. We drank too much wine, so I'm a bit hungover. You're fine.
I'm fine. You
Yeah.
look a bit more than me.
Yeah, I did just a smidge. She's like a lightweight. She has 2 glasses, so we split a bottle. So she has 2 glasses. I have the rest of the bottle, and I'd had a glass before that in the other restaurant. So
I'd like a vermouth before that.
you had actually. She had. So
I was mixing drinks.
What are we going to do today, Catherine?
I don't know. You've got the itinerary.
Okay, that's true. That's fair. We're going to head to the Blue Church, Michael's Gate, the Cathedral. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the tour because it's a communist tour and that's the side of Bratislava I really don't know anything about, so that should be fun. But I thought I'd give you a little info on Bratislava. So, Bratislava is the capital of Slovakia. It's actually one of the smallest European capitals. And did you know Slovakia became a country in 1993? Which is the same year I was born, so me and this country are the same age, which is kind of crazy. And Catherine is actually older than this country. Shut up! Anyway, that's my little factoid. Museum of some kind. Museum of the city history. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
We don't really know a lot about it, do we? Let's do it. Let's go to a museum.
Oh, it's a bit creaky.
Oh, that's at the top. Oh God. I'm just worried I'm gonna have to come back down them. That's my fear. So this is leading to the tower, right?
Yes.
You tread now.
Don't die when you see. You've got the plane tickets.
I've got the plane tickets. That's the only reason I can't die. So we are at the top of the Museum of the City History. You pay €5 to get in. The view at the top is definitely worth it. A lot of people go to Michael's Gate to get the view, but this I would say is on a level, like maybe a tiny bit lower down, but basically on the same level. We couldn't find the entrance to Michael's Gate. Don't know if that was just us being stupid or if it's not that obvious, but we couldn't find it. So if you can't find it, come here. Also, I don't know how much you have to pay to go to St. Michael's. It might be free for all I know, but I can't imagine it is, as it's one of the main sites. So yeah, this is a good alternative because it's really easy to find and there's like nobody up here with us, so it's pretty good if you want to see Old Town Bratislava from a view. I'm going to let you go down first and then I'm going to follow very slowly.
Oh, I go very slowly.
Yeah. Oh, I hate going down stairs like
That's
this.
the last of the comfortable bit.
Oh fuck. Okay, I'm coming.
This is a very thick banister after that.
Oh. Okay, I'm on my way. So what did you think of the museum?
I like the tower the best.
Yeah, the tower and the view from the tower is definitely the highlight. We spent quite a lot of time up there.
And some of the ceilings were really pretty as well, or like the little weird windows.
Yeah, and like when you were in the old medieval part, that was really pretty. I think the actual information was a bit lacking. Like they had loads of incredible stuff, but they didn't tell you anything about it. So you kind of just zoomed through. And also, you were very heavily watched by like all the staff. Like you couldn't do anything without someone appearing and telling you were doing it wrong. We're back. We got surrounded by a tour group, so we had to move. Basically, you are very closely monitored in that museum. Like even to the point you can't.
Even like the interactive bit, she was
Yes.
making sure we were doing it exactly how she wanted us to do it.
Yeah, like I couldn't put my phone down on like the table because she was like no, and I was like okay, so I like moved it. And then
you were putting the blocks down and one of them was on top of another block and she was like, no.
Yeah, and I'm like, really? Do we need need to be that closely monitored. Like, we're not kids, we're not going to break it. I mean, it's all got padding. It was just a bit odd at times. I was like, we don't need to be this closely monitored. We're not children. You know, we're not going to wreck the place.
And it's like whenever you walked into a new bit where there was like you go in like several directions, you wouldn't tell immediately where you need to go. You weren't given a chance to like know your surrounding.
No, and also even things like when we went to get our lockers, the woman like comes over and makes sure you're opening the locker right. And
she was stood so close to you.
So close. I was like, and then there was like something. There was a noise that went off, and she like wandered off, and I was kind of glad because I was like, I don't need you to watch me open a locker. Like, it's only a key. It's not.
It's like, do you want us to talk to you?
Yeah, I was like, it was a bit odd at times, but so the main thing we've learned is that Bratislava at one point has been called Presburg, and that it was probably owned by the Hungarians for quite a long time. I'd say that was my main takeaway from that museum. Yeah. So that's what you'll learn. How are you finding the tour?
It's quite interesting.
I feel like I'm learning a lot. Yeah.
It's only like bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, so it's not too overloaded with information. It's quite good.
Do you know KGB? So in Slovakia we have something similar. It was called STB, Slovak KGB. It was backbone of Communist Party. And if you were actually too religious, too talented, too ambitious, you were no good for them. So of course they kind of haunted you during the times, and they actually use many like torturing methods. For example, they put you in freezing cell for days. Also they got something, maybe you know it was called saw, and they put sound of saw again and again and again until you get really crazy. And of course that leads to many like false confessions during the times. So it was like really serious and sad part of the times, and we always mention it. So we hope that nothing like this will happen anymore.
You want to tell us all about this beautiful statue or fountain?
It was a flower.
Yep.
It used to work.
Lindenberg flower.
True. It doesn't work. Hasn't worked in a very long time.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what is this?
Radio tower thing.
Yes, radio is. It's Slovak radio building. It was built from 69 until 84. Really hard construction. It took them too long. It's really beautiful. Inside it there is place for 500 people, and also second largest organ in Central Europe. Wow, much wow.
We've just been on our communism tour, and this square is called the Freedom Park or the Freedom Square. It also has a Slovakian name, but I don't know what that is. This was built by the Soviet Union, and it was deliberately made to be like an uncomfortable place to kind of stay and hang out, because they didn't want to encourage people to like form groups and have ideas and revolt against them. So the benches are made deliberately painful. It's like built so that tanks can easily get here, so if there is a demonstration they can break it up. And also when the fountain did work, it was apparently so noisy that you couldn't really talk anyway. So it's a very interesting square, but it does make for quite a sterile park. Bit of a fail this morning. Another one. It's becoming a theme on this holiday. We'd read somewhere that
Lonely Planet.
Lonely Planet, TripAdvisor, all of them say it, that the church was open 7 to 7:30 in the morning, and then 5:30 to 7:30 in the evening. So because we're getting on a bus tonight, we were like, oh, we'll get up early. Not my favourite thing to do. We'll get up early. We'll go see it in the morning. But I think what it means is there's a mass at 7. So like we'd have had to be here at 7 and go to the mass, because the only times on there are the mass times. It's not like open as a visiting church really at all. We're just seeing the outside. The outside is still very pretty, to be fair. And then the plan is to go out to Slavin, and everyone says it's a must see. So we're gonna go see it. We have to get the bus. We got the bus up. Should have been 70 cents, but we didn't realise how the tickets worked. You have to buy your ticket before you get on the bus, and we didn't realise that because we like had our 70 cent and we were ready to give it to the bus driver, but then the bus driver door doesn't even open. So I spent like about 10 minutes in pure panic waiting for the bus driver ticket person to demand us to get off the bus and charge us a huge fine. But that didn't happen, so we got it paid for free, which is the good takeaway from that. It's a bit of a weird one because it's kind of to commemorate when they liberated Slovakia, or Czechoslovakia as it was at the time. But then it's also when they then occupied it and forced it to go under their like Eastern Bloc Iron Curtain thing. So, you know, take which version of history you want to take, really.
Yeah.
Liberate or occupy.
They liberated them from the Nazis.
Yes, and then they occupied them with communism. So, you know, it's like rock and a hard place. Neither one was great. Okay, so I thought I'd tell you a few facts about the monument. It is 37 meters tall. There is a statue on the top which is designed by a Soviet sculpture person whose name I can't remember, and basically it's meant to be like a Soviet soldier hoisting up the flag. I'm not sure what flag, but then he's standing on the Nazi swastika symbol, so it's meant to symbolise that he's crushing fascism. I mean, it's a pretty literal symbolisation, the fact he's standing on a Nazi flag, but that's what the sign said. And the other good thing is it's completely free to come here. So we are done at Slavin and we're gonna go get the bus, and this time we're gonna make sure we get a ticket because it was too much anxiety last time. Even though we didn't get caught, it's like it's 70 cent. I don't need that anxiety for 70 cent. It's really not worth it. So we're gonna get the bus, we're gonna go to the castle. We read online that it's not actually worth paying to go in the castle because it costs 10 euros, which is quite a lot when you're on our budget. Basically what's inside is like a exhibition explaining why the castle was restored or how it was restored, which isn't that interesting. And then one on signage, which I'm like, that's not really why I want to go to the castle. So I think we're just going to walk around the grounds and see the views and see what we can see for free, basically. We're walking around the walls that say Sidman's Gate, and I don't know how well you're going to hear me because there's quite a lot of building work happening behind me, but the view, to be fair, is beautiful. But you see this view a lot from Bratislava. This is the view they show you of like over the Danube, so this isn't our first time seeing this view, but it's a slightly different perspective and it's a nice little walk. Just walking around, it's just too hot, it's too bloody hot. I'm not a fan. It's just round. Anyway. Made it inside the castle grounds, that is, we finally found it. I feel like we're having a very chilled day and I think that's okay. Sometimes when you're on holiday you need to just have days where you don't do a lot. Everything we wanted to do today in Bratislava, we didn't really realise it was walk around and see and chill stuff, so we've inadvertently had a chill day. I'll give you a little lowdown on the castle. The stuff I found out from the signs. The castle was originally built in 907 AD and it was a sort of defensive structure, but it didn't stay a defensive structure for very long. So it then got taken over by various people until it ended up in the hands of, I think, the Prince of Luxembourg or the Duke of Luxembourg. I'm not quite sure of that terminology. He did a massive revival on the castle and did a massive like Gothic restoration, reconstruction, you know. He renovated it a lot. It changed hands again. A lot of the Hungarian kings and queens were crowned here. And then in 1811, I believe, if I'm remembering my facts right, it burned down, which is quite tragic. And what we see now is a reconstruction that was finished or started or built in 1953. Grounds are quite a bit bigger than you first think. So you have to walk around all the various gates. So we started at the Viennese Gate, I think it was called. And then we went round to Leopold's Gate, and then we went round to Sigmund's Gate, and then finally we went to Nicholas's Wicket, and we got in through Nicholas's Wicket, and that seems to be where most people are getting into the castle from. I don't know how long we're going to chill here. Our bus is at 4 to Budapest, so we've got a little bit of time. I think it's 12:30 now. So we'll probably go have lunch somewhere, I think.
Yes, a cute cafe.
Cute cafe is the plan. So we're going to go find a cute cafe and then see how much time we've got left, really. Anyway, I'm signing out. Bye.